Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Michaela Enriquez and I'm one of the reporters of Module 6, which is entitled The Why and How of School and Community Partnership. So we can see at the slide right now is the intended learning outcomes, wherein at the end of the lesson, the students are expected to explain what school and community partnership means, explain the legal and sociological basis of schools and community partnership, and lastly, we have to cite examples of school and community partnerships.
What can the community do for schools? Here are examples of a community can do for schools. First, the Brigada Escuela. This program engages all education stakeholders to contribute their time, effort, and resources in ensuring the public school facilities are set in time for the forthcoming school opening. I know all of us is very familiar with the Brigada Escuela, which in our elementary days, our parent is the one who go to school in order to clean and prepare the school for the opening of the classes. But in high school or senior high school and junior high school, we're the one who clean and prepare the school for the opening. Next, the number two is curriculum development. This can mean use of community resources for learning, example, museum, elders of the community as a key informants in research or a resource person in the study of a local history. Number three is the work experience programs. Business establishment and offices in the community can serve as a training ground for learners. A concrete example is the work immersion required of senior high school students. Actually, also the college or a graduating college students has work experience programs and they call it an OJT or on job training. When we look back in our high school days, senior or junior high school, we have our research. And almost of our respondents is from our community, which they can give the answer that we want and also our curiosity in the things that we want to study. In this work immersion, students are given the opportunity to work in relevant establishments or offices in the community to help develop in them the competencies, work ethics, and values relevant to pursuing further education and or joining the world of work. 4. Remediation and enrichment classes. Parents and retired teachers may be involved in the school reading remediation and learning enrichment programs. Enrichment is to increase students' understanding the lesson and give a new insight about the lesson. And remediation or remedial is given to the students who cannot understand the lesson and the performance is below what is being expected. Number 5, youth development programs. The young may involve themselves in youth development programs and develop their skills and talents, learn how to deal positively with peers and adults, and serve as resources in their communities. The youth development program is to create a young positive people and prepared to meet the challenges of adolescence and adulthood to achieve his or her potential. And lastly, the number 6, the community service is an unpaid work performed by a person or a group of people for the benefit and the betterment of their community without any form of compensation. Examples of community service are students participating in tutorial programs, community reforestation programs, clean up drive for a river, assisting in medical mission, school head involved in planning local celebration, teachers managing programs, projects, activities like school band playing and festa parades.
What can schools do for communities in return? These are the things that can schools do for something for the communities in return. We have the classroom used by community organizations for meetings, school used as a polling place and venue for medical mission which it may co-sponsor with a rural health unit, and also school used by the rural unit health for mothers, class and child care, and lastly, school used as an evacuation center, school facilities used for community assembly. To add ons on our ideas, we have the school's basketball court are used for local celebrations and barangay sports league. We also have schools conduct livelihood skills, training programs for parents and out-of-school youths by using school resources. And lastly, livelihood skills training for parents and out-of-school youths by teachers themselves. So the next slide is about the learning from the experiences of schools and community partners. First, we have the Dumingaga Central School Dumingag, Zamboanga del Sur. It has a strong school community partnership wherein the feeding program was maintained by community donors, Mother Butler Mission Guild, barangay councils, office of the mayor, parents who budgeted, cooked, and purchased. This one is a kitty cup, wherein classes cups lectures on good manners and right conduct, drug addiction, child abuse, child welfare, Municipal Welfare and Development Office, Municipal Health Office conducted special classes on health and nutrition and rights of the child. The next one we have The Angel's Magic Spot and Project Reach, etc. by Pembo Elementary School, Makati. Pembo Angel's Magic Spot or PAMS were the volunteer environmental steward students of Pembo Elementary School, while magic spots were the small dump sites or empty lots in the barangay which were converted by the students into vegetable gardens from which the members of the barangay could harvest from home supply. The school for the feeding program or sold them for cash for the purchase of seedlings and planting of more vegetables. PAMS brought together students, teachers, school head, parents, barangay officials, and other members of the community cleaned up little nooks for garbage and converted them into green areas with vegetables shared by all. The PAMs also taught gardening skills and positive attitude toward work to students and supplemented the feeding program for the underweight and the malnourished in the school. The project bowls, or what we call brain, operates well on loaded stomachs. Another effective practice was Project Revitalized Enthusiasm for Assistance to Children of Humanity, or what they call REACH, where each teacher adopted one student and acted as his or her mentor for the entire school year. The teacher gave free tutorial to the adopted student during his or her free time, visit the student's family every now and in some instances, gave the student a daily allowance of 10 pesos from the teacher's own pocket. This contributed to improved performance of Pembo Elementary School, which is 23rd in rank in the Division Achievement Test Sum up to rank 9 and 6 years later, rank 1. Urbanidad kids were ideal students who acted as role models for the students and the Pembo community. They were the cleanest, most well-mannered, and most diligent in class. And they also have bowls, means brain operates well on loaded stomach. Every recess, children who were selected by the school as bowls beneficiaries due to malnutrition were provided a free bowl of lugaw. And also, they have Para sa Panapon, was a weekly trash market where students, their parents, and other members of the community were invited to bring their recyclable garbage. The project helped the school purchase the necessary supplies and was able to support two students to a 2010 math competition in Singapore.
Sociological basis of school community partnership. The functionalist theory states that institutions must perform their respective function for the stability of society. Other institutions must come in if one institution fails to do its part for the sake of society. The school cannot do it all. It takes a village to educate a child. So goes to African proverb, it has to work in partnership with other institutions in the community, such as the church, government organization, and non-government organization. With the breakdown of families, school face greater challenge in educating the young. The rearing and education of the child is the primary obligation of parents. The school, the church, and other social institutions come in to assist parents and families to fulfill their irreplaceable obligation. Consequently, this responsibility leads to their having limited amount of time to spend for and with growing and developing children who unfortunately become more likely single-parent families themselves. The cycle goes on. Legal basis for parents and community involvement. Republic Act 9155 Governance of Basic Education Act Section 10 explicitly state that one of the responsibility of school heads is to establishing school and community network and encouraging the active participation of teacher organization, non-academic personnel of public school, and parent teachers community association. Encourage local initiative for the improvement of school and learning centers and to provide the means by which improvement may be achieved and sustained. Batas Pangbansang Bilang 232, otherwise known as the Education Act of 1982, Section 7 state that every educational institution shall provide for the establishment of appropriate bodies through which the member of the educational community may discuss relevant issue and communicate information and suggestion for assistance and support of the school and for the promotion of their common interests. Representatives from each subgroup of the educational community shall sit and participate in these bodies, the rules and procedure of which must be approved by them and duly published. Republic Act 8525 adopts a school program act. Provides for school community partnership. It allows private entities to assist a public school, whether elementary, secondary, or tertiary, in but not limited to the following areas: staff and faculty, development for training and further education, construction of facilities, upgrading of existing facilities, provision of books, publication and other instructional materials, and modernization of instructional technologies. Even the Philippine Education for All EFA 2015 plan then a vision and a holistic program of reforms that aim to improve the quality of basic education for every Filipino by end to 2015. Likewise, state schools shall continue to harness local resources and facilitate involvement of every sector of the community in the school improvement process. This EFA 2015 plan was extended in education for all beyond 2015 agenda to 2030. Agenda 2030 has 7 new educational targets from 2015 to 2030 that must involve education stakeholders, which in essence is school community partnership. UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education Dr. Kian Tang himself admits that Agenda 2030 cannot be realized without school partnering with community. He said, our vision must be more aggressive, more committed, not just involving government, non-government agencies, but all stakeholders. Republic Act 9155 states that partnership between school and community also ensure that educational program, project, and service take into account the interests of all members of the community. Section 3D. School and learning centers reflect the values of the community by allowing teachers, learner, facilitators, and other staff to have the flexibility to serve the needs of all learners. Section 3E. Local initiatives for the improvement of local learning centers are encouraged and means by which these improvements may be achieved and sustained are provided. Section 3.1.
Here are the takeaways for our lesson for today. We have the school and community partnership means school head, teachers, learners, parents of learners, and non-teaching personnel working together with civic and religious leaders, alumni, other parents, non-government organizations, government organizations for the good of children.
The upbringing of children is the main and irreplaceable duty and responsibility of the family. But with the weakening influence of the family in the upbringing of children, and with the children's unlimited exposure to modern technology like internet, the challenge for school to teach the young has become even greater. So school cannot do it all, they have to partner with the community.
Also, to add for our takeaways, we have in this partnership, children, the primary customers of the schools, are most benefited, but school and community are likewise mutually benefited.
RA 9155, also known as the Governance of a Basic Education Act, BP 232, which is the Education Act of 1982, RA 8525, Adopt a School Program Act, and Agenda 2030 stipulate school and community partnership.
The last one for our takeaways will be there are many opportunities for school and community partnership. The Brigada Escuela, which is now institutionalized in the PED schools, is a glaring proof of school and community partnership. Schools, with all its human and material resources, can offer services also to the community in many ways. And that is all for the report of Group 3, which is we reported the Module 6, the why and how of school and community partnership. I hope you have learned a lot from our report, and thank you for listening and goodbye.